Hello and welcome to another World of Warplanes video with me, Sir 10 Death. I have recently been reviewing several fighters around the lower tiers, particularly tier 4, and I recently looked at the Bristol 146 and I've looked at the I-17, and today I'm looking at the American offering, the Curtiss P-36 Hawk, and seeing whether it's worth playing, whether it's enjoyable, what it does well, what it doesn't do so well. And as always, there will be some video footage playing of me playing this plane. Now I'll tell you right now, I'm not playing this plane in stock configuration. I'm playing it pretty much fully upgraded. In fact, since recording this, I've unlocked the tier 5 P40. So this is not what it would be like out of the box, but it is showing off what the plane can do when you've spent not a huge amount, but a few thousand experience upgrading the weaponry and the airframe and the engines. So as ever then, we're going to get into some gameplay and have a chat about what this plane does, talk about some of its stats in basic form. I'm not going to go into too much detail because my videos are all more about just showing off things and giving a few pointers rather than about talking about detailed statistics. I don't spend a lot of time looking at exact numbers, just have a quick chat about them. So we're going to get the game underway here and get off and get moving then. So the first thing you'll notice straight away is that this plane is not as manoeuvrable as the Bristol 146 or the I-17. It's not a slouch, but it's not quite as quick off the mark. Its manoeuvrability rating on paper is 61 when stock can be upgraded up to 63 once you've got a better airframe and better engine. But 63 is significantly lower than a lot of other, particularly Japanese and some of the Russian fighters, which are up in the 80s or indeed 90s. But we're going to get ourselves into some combat here and we're going to have a see what this can do. Now, as I said, mine is upgraded, so you will see these weapons going to work quite quickly here. I'm just catching up with this first plane and getting some damage done. Just get the lead right, and wow, that's just popped him out the sky in no amount of time, and we've got somebody else on the target already. Now, even though on paper the manoeuvrability is pretty low, I seem to have no trouble really. Now, these are heavy fighters, so it's not really a problem keeping up with them. But you'll see later on in this game, I didn't really have any problem getting on the tail of pretty much anybody. I found the manoeuvrability to be perfectly acceptable. There's nothing really wrong with it. So, hit point wise, when you get it, it's 170, it can be upgraded to 180, which is very nice. It's higher than most. Most other tier 4 fighters kick around the 130, 140 area. The Bristol 146 is up near the same as the P-36, that's a bit higher, but most of the ones are a little bit lower. So it's quite nice to have a few more hit points to play with, gives you a little bit more survivability, and that probably explains why it's not quite as manoeuvrable, because it's a little bit of a heavier plane to move around. So we've already done some damage to some other aircraft, and I'm just testing out the manoeuvrability. You can feel that it doesn't quite turn as sharply as maybe a KI series or the I-17 or the Bristol, but it's okay. I've managed to get around and get on target there, and I'm doing alright here. I'm having a quick check of the score, see how we're doing. We're doing okay. We've assisted with the capping of a couple of circles, and we're just doing what fighters should do, is swapping from target to target here. And what I'm seeing is, speed-wise, it's quite acceptable. Now I'm actually in a climb at the moment, and even though I'm climbing, I'm still actually doing 200 kilometers an hour and managing to catch somebody. Now I'm going into a dive, and let's see what the speed goes up to. I'm not actually boosting, I'm just getting on this guy's tail. It's rapidly approaching the 300 area. So, speed-wise, it's quite good. It's just got the 2,000 combat points mark there. When boosting, it's hitting the sort of up to the 400. This is quite a quick plane, which probably also explains why its turning circle out of the box is 11.1 seconds, not as good as some other fighters. Can be brought down to 10.8, but that's because you'll find that when you've got a more faster moving plane, obviously it takes a bigger circle or a bigger radius to turn around in the sky, and therefore it takes a bit longer to get right round on target. But I'm not having any real problem getting from target to target here. I'm just swapping around. These guns are doing really well. I mentioned at the beginning of the video that the guns on this have been upgraded already. Even when you get this plane out of the box, they're not bad. It comes with a single 12.7 and a 7.62, which gives you a nice blend of a bit more damage and a bit more rapid fire. Once you've got this fully upgraded as this is, it's phenomenal. 2 12.7mm guns and 4 7.62mm guns. So you've got 6 guns going on target. So you can actually see them as I'm turning there, the 4 smaller ones on the wings and the 2 bigger ones just under the front cowling there. So that's just past the 4,000 combat points in the grade 5 fighter award. And big slow moving things like this ground attack aircraft, they can do nothing. These guns just shred this. So I have to say I'm enjoying this plane. Cynically speaking, I openly went on record and said a few days ago that, in my opinion, either the Bristol 146 or the Russian I-17 were the best fighters at Tier 4. And I have to say, after playing this game, this could be a one-off, but I'm now wondering whether this P-36 Hawk can offer some pretty stiff competition. It's a slightly different playstyle, and admittedly, if you get into a game where you've got maybe a lot of Spitfires who can get on your tail, you'd struggle possibly a bit in this because you can't outmaneuver them as effectively. But in a game like this, when you're top tier, you can absolutely rule the roost in this because the guns are so damaging. And as I said earlier, I'm having no real problem just picking onto my targets, getting onto the tail of them, and just going to work. This guy here took a little bit of time to track him down, but that's me. I'm already past the 7,000 combat points mark, and I'm loving every minute of this, to be honest. Very enjoyable plane to play. So we mentioned the hit points, we've talked about its maneuverability, we've talked about its turn ratio. It does have an 8-second boost as well, which is a little bit nicer, because most fighters tend to have 6 seconds, but that's quite nice. Its suggested altitude is significantly higher than what I'm fighting at the moment. It's supposed to be better around the 1500 meter mark. I'm fighting quite low level. That's largely because it's not because I'm deliberately choosing to play this badly. It's because of the fact that well, obviously with a fighter you've got to go where the targets are. If the targets are all at low level, there's not much point in sitting up there at 1500 meters looking down at everything 1000 meters below you thinking, oh well, they're down there so I'm not going near them. You've got to go and deal with that threat, you've got to go and engage them and get busy and do what you can to help your team out. Team-wise, this game's going very well. It's looking like it's going to be a win. I'm still on my first sortie here, and I've taken very little damage, to be honest. I've only lost maybe 20% of my hit points, and I'm having no real problem. Now, there is an argument that would say maybe I've just been very lucky, that the bot planes, or indeed the human planes, haven't decided to really pick on me. That's the Akamatsu medal there, 10,000 combat points. Or it could be that this is a really, really solid plane when top tier. I have to say, it's enjoyable, it's a great bit of fun to play. And it's alright at turning around. It's not great, but it's okay, it's doing the job. I've been enjoying playing a number of the lower tier fighters, and I very much have the intention of going down several fighter lines, particularly the more manoeuvrable ones. But I have to say, I'm going to press on with this one. I'm going to be testing out the P-40 over the next few days and seeing what the tier 5 counterpart looks like. So there's a guy that should be theoretically able to manoeuvre quite easily, and he's a multi-role, but he should be able to get away from me, and I'm having no problem at all taking him down. There's the grade 3 fighter, and I've just 11,700 combat points. Next victim, please. This guy's doing his best to try and twist and turn and make that life hard for me, and to be honest, he's not getting away. You are mine, buddy. That's the 13,000. Now, unfortunately for me, I shouldn't really criticise this, but the team collectively have played so well that the game's going to be over. And the game's over before I could go on and get myself Class 2 or even Class 1. Otherwise I suspect I might have a whole string of medals there. 14,000 combat points. These are the standard ones. Flying Start's fairly normal. Hat-trick's fairly normal. Effective Fire, all normal ones. Subjugator, normal award. Hunt for Hawk, fairly standard. Class 3 fighter, I think I could have done better than that if it had been a longer game. First in the team overall, Flying Guardian badge, the Akamatsu medal, the Winged Legend for getting 14,000 combat points, and the Guardian, all of those in a tier 4 plane. And this is tier 4 non-premium, it's a Tech Tree aircraft, and how do we do what by way of credits? So, wow, over the 100,000 mark in a non-premium tier 4, you can't complain at that, you really can't. This is a nice little plane. I would thoroughly recommend if you were looking for something that's got a bit of durability, can put the damage out, and is quite good fun to play. It's worth checking out. As ever, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll be keeping them coming your way. If you ever have any requests for what you'd like me to show you, if I possibly can do that, I will do that. So please do put the comments below if it helps. Thanks very much for watching. Goodbye.